hold it. Yeah, right. What's your deal anyway?
All Shrek fans are definitely tired of waiting on new movies about this huge green ogre. Good news, Puss in Boots: The Last Wish is out in theaters, and if you missed the adventure of this motley crew, it is time to celebrate. Moreover, many people who have already watched the movie are happy to see Shrek, Fiona, and Donkey's cameo. Also, some fans assume that they notice hidden clues about Shrek 5, and in this video, we're gonna talk about it. Stay tuned to know all the details, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button.
In his wee little boots. You know, how many cats can wear boots? Honestly.
Before we start talking about the hidden clues about Shrek 5, we want to say a few words about the Puss in Boots new movie. It's directed by Joel and Hanuel, and we have to admit that the film is not a sequel to any of the Shrek films. It is rather serving mainly as a sequel to the 2011 Puss in Boots, which is not that bad. The plot of the movie is focused on the fact that Puss is told that he has nearly run out of his 9 lives. Puss gets scared and tries to give his lives back, so he goes after the last wish. The thing is that the kitty and other fairy tale icons like Goldilocks and the Three Bears and Big Jack Horner are after it as well. Along the way, we see many different references and flashbacks to Shrek movies. Speaking about the new movie in one of his interviews, the director said, "I want to bring as much truth to Puss world as possible. There's this excitement, it's so fun, the nostalgia of Shrek and to have these little cameos with characters from that world. But we are very cognizant of the fact that this is a Puss in Boots movie. This is his journey," he also added. "And we didn't want it to just be like, remember this character, remember this one?" It's fun to get these little Easter eggs, but it doesn't distract from Puss in Boots being back. There's so many possibilities within the story we already had, and we didn't want to throw anything else in.
Look, a little cat.
Look out, Shrek! You got a piece!
It's a cat, donkey.
Now, let's finally talk about all the hidden clues about the alleged Shrek 5 movie. The Shrek 5 movie is actually teased in a few different ways, and the most obvious one happens at the very end of the film. Puss finally gets what he wants, but he finds himself being controlled by death, so he decides to throw the chance for another batch of lives away and face his mortality. Death understands that Puss has changed a lot as he accepts the inevitable, his fate. Puss rejoins Kitty and Paretto, but this situation gives Big Jack Horner a chance to cause chaos, and he steals the last wish. Luckily, Goldilocks and the Three Bears team up with Puss, Kitty, and Paretto and defeat Horner, but the last wish gets destroyed. Puss, Kitty, and Paretto go on a trip across the seas on a ship, and Puss explains to everyone that they go to see some of his old friends, and the camera turns to reveal the far, far away sign, and the Shrek theme plays as well.
Off to find new adventures and to see some old friends.
The next super obvious clue is the appearance of Shrek and Donkey. Even though they have no speaking roles and there is not an explicit end credit scene with Shrek himself, but we find this scene a major tease for Shrek 5 anyways. This may give new life to the next Shrek storyline, and many fans definitely agree with it. Plus, just imagine how much the studio would have to pay Mike Myers and Eddie Murphy for 2 second appearances. Of course, the audience is always happy to hear their voices, but it might not have been worth it, especially if we are getting a sequel soon. These two appear alongside Puss as the lives flash before his eyes for the first time when he encounters death. But if you have your own thoughts on the matter, feel free to share them in the comment section down below.
Well. If it isn't Puss in Boots himself.
We start revealing the hidden clues from the very end of the movie because they are the most obvious. And now, let's go back to the very start of Puss in Boots' Last Wish. Early in the movie, after Puss is killed after a giant bell crushes him, he visits a doctor. The doctor tells him that he's reached the end of his 9 lives. And here is where you'll catch one of the clues. Puss has a series of flashbacks of his various deaths. One of the deaths featured the gingerbread man when they were cooking something in a giant oven. They open the oven and flames escape, presumably burning them both to death. Not the most pleasant thing to watch, but fans are more than sure that this is also a hidden clue about the new Shrek movie. We also have Pinocchio, who makes his appearance in the film. Gingy appears when Puss is recounting how he managed to die 8 times. Pinocchio, on the other hand, appears in a flashback when Big Jack Horner is recounting why he gathers magical items. The idea is that Horner was little, both he and Pinocchio would perform, and Pinocchio gathered a crowd for being a magical puppet, while Horner didn't. We know that assuming that the appearance of these characters is a guarantee that the new Shrek movie will be released soon, but many people ask themselves, why would the filmmakers include these characters in the Puss in Boots films? Do you have any thoughts?
Little Jack Horner didn't have any magic.
He was pathetic.
This detail is a bit more difficult to catch, but you should pay attention to the scene when Puss gets evaluation from his doctor and leaves the room. When he passes by several people in the waiting room, you can notice there the Wicked Witch, who we saw a few times in several Shrek movies. Maybe you noticed another detail that we haven't mentioned in this video. If yes, just let us know.
Relax! I am Puss in Boots! I laugh at death!
We bet the question you ask yourself now is, will The Last Wish director make Shrek 5? And the answer is, it is possible. Yeah, we know it's been a while since we've heard something about Shrek 5, but the script writer, Michael, has recently stated that he has finished the script. I finished that script, which I really love. It's really personal to me, he said. It's got a pretty big reinvention behind it that I guess I can't really reveal. But reinvention was sort of called for. There's been 4 movies and a lot of material, so the characters are pretty beloved and they're great characters. But you also have to think of a pretty new take at that point. So, does it mean that Shrek 5 may happen soon? Let's hope that there will be an update. Also, the director Joel called Puss in Boots and Kitty Softpaws one of his favorite characters in addition to Paretto and Goldilocks, who is being voiced by the Marvel star Florence Pugh. It happened when he was speaking with comicbook.com's Chris. This might also be a clue that the director was hinting at his plan to create the 5th Shrek movie and include Puss and Kitty in it. You know, the hardest part in directing a movie is you spend so much time really understanding the characters before the story starts, and even after, and it's hard to just stop where you go. I would love to see Paretto, who is such a fun character, and what are his journeys like. I mean, Puss in Boots and Kitty Softpaws, I have so much fun with these characters, and with Antonio and Selma, and just working with them, Joel Crawford explained. And I gotta say, also Goldilocks and the Bears. We had a lot of fun with Florence Pugh in finding this kind of Guy Ritchie-esque, you know, smash and grab family. There's an edge to them, but there's this amazing comedy and warmth to them. So the hard part is going, yeah, we want to do it all. I want to keep telling their stories. Is there any reference you would add? Feel free to leave your comments in the comment section down below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.
Hey, Puss, I found a sandwich in here. I think it's tuna.
Drive, perro!
Okay, now.